Hey, lifers. Oh gosh. I'm really, really, really happy that you waited at least a little while for this one. It's been tough times, but I've been pretty good. I had a great New Year's and it was calm, although I did work a little bit too much and I worked throughout like I did with Christmas and yeah. So it's been a tough entry into 2020, but it's something I'm really excited about. We're starting a new decade, really. And it's really been, for me, it's been about putting my trust and putting my heart and my faith and my soul and the way that I am back into the Lord. You know me, and you know how I get when situations come up and things are very questionable. There's always living proof, no matter what, to any of your questions, wherein if someone has told you that something isn't good for you, there's always, those exceptions that explain why things are not good for us and why it's true. And, like there's aborted fetal tissue and vaccines and in our foods and stuff, and or like the sort of things that just come and go in everyday life. Like no one really ever warns us how hard life is going to get as we get older. But there is living proof that you are only really young. You're only a child for a very short period of time in your life. And when that's done, that's done. So, for all of you who have a tough time adulting, which basically means you have a tough time being a grown up, in life, and you get very perturbed at change, and yeah, so lots of living proof about people not liking change. But I'm one of those people who likes life and the struggle and in the change and becoming and developing into the person I'm supposed to be, the person that God wants me to be. I've been trying not to pay too much attention to every single little detail in the political realm, in the church realm, and in the social realms. But this past week and this past month, since Christmas 2019, has been really, really hard. And, we just lost Kobe Bryant, and we just lost some really great influences in this life, in the sports world. And I know that there have been a lot of other losses that are just really tough to talk about. But you know what, people? We're bigger than that, and we're tough, and we can handle it. And yes, our hearts are broken because we always automatically have that bad fallback, that old adage. Well, if God were so kind and so generous, why did he allow this? You know what? God didn't really have the biggest pull in that. He didn't cause it to be. There is evil in the world, and we're all grown, or some of us are just, even as children, I'm sure that if you're a child and you're watching this, even you know that there's good and there's bad. Okay? And we just really have to stop blaming God for all of the things that break our hearts. God wants us to learn from all of these instances, and he's given us people like Kobe Bryant as great examples of the kinds of people that we want to turn into and become. And if we can't handle these small struggles, guess what? Get out of the game. And that may not be something that you like hearing, but it's something that we all need to hear. Okay? It's something that is a brighter example of the fact that we don't put our trust in the Lord. And, I've said over and over and over again in other episodes that we have to, because in the Bible, to put your trust in the Lord and lean never on your own understanding. Put your faith and your trust and your hope in the Lord, and He will definitely make things much straighter, much more less curvier, much more less of a heavy burden to carry. And just simple stuff like that, like Psalm 16:1, preserve me, O God. And let me read that real quick. King James Version, by the way, it's my favorite. Psalm 16:1, preserve me, O God, for in Thee I put my trust. And when we do that, that is telling us, yeah, when we put our faith and our hope and everything that we want to become in the Lord, He's going to handle it. He's going to make things right. At some point, you know, we will see the good in the end. Like, for instance, not long ago, Toby McKeon lost his son. And there were chemical, substances involved in this. And for whatever reason, some people will jump to their own conclusions and say, oh, see, if you don't watch him. The kid, he was very young. He was 21 years old. And it really doesn't matter how we lose our loved ones. They're not here in the fight with us. And so we automatically have our hearts broken. And yeah, life is hard. Yeah, that is going to be tough for his family because he's got a big family. And we still miss the people that we've lost. Friends, coworkers, we still miss them. God knows that. He can hear that. He can hear our hearts. And one thing's for sure. He's going to preserve our hearts. He's going to preserve our minds. He's going to preserve our souls if we allow Him. And the only way we can allow Him is if we trust Him. That we know He's going to do it. Time and time again, I know that by now quite a few of you have a Bible, and if you've read a lot of it, even the stuff that you don't understand, even the stuff that's very adult in nature, you know He comes through. He pulls it together. He teaches us through that hard struggle what it meant and what it means. Even God went through that, but we'll get to that as the seasons come and as the seasons go. So I'm not just going to sign off tonight, lifers, with some cute little cliche, but I am going to tell you that God's love is forever, and He is faithful. Even when I'm struggling, even right now, He's faithful. Remember that, please.